in the MLS. Towards Busquets in the centre circle, looking towards that central left-hand side. It's Negri, now it's back with Nicolas Fleur. Now it's with Serhii Kvitsov, of course. Was the main centre-back partnership with Tomas Aviles last season. As Kvitsov now under some slight pressure. He's forced to clear towards Drake Callender. Now towards the central right-hand side, there is Chelo Weingart. And he's muscled down by Vilsaint, whatever discipline you come from. Of course, the Canadian international, of course, formerly of Antwerp, made the switch over to Montreal last season and only got the 2 goals in the MLS. And now it's with Benjamin Kramashi on that central right-hand side in defence, but they can't get it away, and it's now going to be a throw-in for the home side. Now it's towards the central right-hand side this time with Rouen. It's picked off by Miami. Just inside the defensive penalty area. Now they're clearing it out towards the midfield. Here is Messi. Just inside the defensive half on the central right-hand side. Now it's with Montreal picking up possession in their attacking half. The ball towards that right-hand side is picked off by Miami once more. And they look to swing forward now on that left-hand side. Here is Franco Negri, midway point of the attacking half on the left-hand side. Back of a step now. Here is Sergio Busquets, just past halfway on that central left-hand side. Now it's Nicolas Fleur looking across the face towards Marcelo Weingart. Now it's Gressel just on halfway. Marcelo Weingart once more. Now Kramashi twisting, turning in the defensive half. Montreal applying the press. Miami play a ball forward to no one in pursuit, and it will be picked up by Fernando Alvarez. Of course, a very, very disciplined player, of course, Fernando Alvarez. If you were to assess his footballing abilities, of course, a New York-based player, of course, played for Pachuca, a very unconventional career. And now it's in the defensive half for Montreal. It's picked off by Miami. Towards the D now is Messi, about 5 yards from the D. Brilliant ball towards Gressel. It's Julian Gressel, but the shot is deflected following a sliding effort from Joel Waterman. That was a good chance for Miami to stake their claim early on. Now they're throwing at the midway point of the attacking half on that right-hand side. This time is Marcelo Weingart. It's Gressel. Can't apply the pass away. Yes, Fernando Alvarez, of course, was born in New York City. And then to a Mexican father and a Colombian mother. Then they obviously did move to Mexico to represent Pachuca. And then, of course, now he's at Montreal. Ball out towards that right-hand side. It's kept in play by Messi, approaching the byline. Messi on his left foot. Plays a 10-yard pass into the central pitch, where Busquets lies. And Messi looking to play the pass forward once more. Ball bouncing around in the Miami attacking half. Now it's towards that central left-hand side. Here is Franco Negri. Looking to play the pass forward, but it's picked off by Montreal out towards that right-hand side now. Racing forward. This time is Rouen, but sliding in was Nicolas Fleur. Now in the attacking half of Miami, it's Benjamin Kramashi. Now at the midway point of the defensive half. This time Kvitsov plays it towards that right-hand side as Weingart. Looks for the ball upfield. Now it's with Gressel. Miami happy to knock it around. And just beyond the centre circle is Busquets in the defensive half for Miami. Sliding it out towards that left-hand side. Passing halfway is Nicolas Fleur. Now Suarez in interchanging passes is back towards Sergio Busquets. Long ball forward looking for Julian Gressel, but it's right into the arms of Jonathan Siroy. Now it will be Montreal to recompose themselves now. Central left-hand side, here's Fernando Alvarez looking upfield now. Touched inside by Vilsaint. And now under some pressure Montreal, but they do play with it very well in the centre circle. Now towards that right-hand side, past halfway. Racing forward is Rouen, approaching the right edge of the penalty area. Playing it back short towards Duke. And he enters the area, does Rouen, but it's picked off by Miami eventually. And it's now played back into the feet of Montreal towards that central left-hand side. Past halfway, about 10 yards out from the penalty area. Into a central area now once more. This time was Duke. Now it's towards Tisser. And see out towards that right-hand side. It's drawn in central. Here is Duke. A couple of interchanging passes and Montreal still retain possession. Now towards that right-hand side. This time, Ishonier. And there is a player down for Montreal who might need some treatment here. And looks like play will be restarted eventually. Well, let's see what they can assess on this occasion. Doesn't look like a free kick will be awarded. And we'll just witness and see as to what will be delivered from this position. This is towards that central left-hand side this time for Alvarez. Left-hand touchline was Messi briefly. Midway point of the defensive half of Miami on that central right-hand side is Busquets, who's been lashed down by Samuel Piet, the captain of Montreal. With Busquets, or weaves away past the player. Central right-hand side is Weingart now past halfway on that right flank. Draws it in central briefly for Matias Rojas, who gets one of his first touches of the football this evening. Did get a goal last week. In fact, 2. Pivotal for his side. As it switched towards that left-hand side. Still in the defensive half of Miami. It's with Franco Negri. And Kvitsov with a long ball forward out towards that right flank. It's Weingart who crosses past halfway. Checks, turns away, now back into the feet of Julian Gressel. This time is Sergio Busquets. Slightly forward this time. Once more. This time Weingart just past halfway on that right flank. Is Busquets. Miami in no rush, just taking their time as you would expect. Chip ball forward this time to Gressel, past halfway, midway point of the attacking half of Miami, driving into a more central area. This time is Rojas, who's deep, slides it forward towards Messi, but stepping inside there. It pivotably was Samuel Piet, and it's spun back by Miami down that left-hand flank. It's played up forward by Nicolas Flair briefly, but it's all the way into the feet of Siroy. Now Montreal in their defensive half on that right-hand side now. Just interchanging passes, this time it's with George Campbell. Now it's Pietz. Plays towards that central left-hand side, crossing past halfway. This time is Alvarez. It's got options with the left-hand touchline in the form of Lasita. Ball played towards a D. Interchanging passes now. It's Duke. And Montreal do win a free kick. Quite literally 20 yards out from goal, right inside the D. And Serhii Kvitsov just exerting too much force on that occasion, and it will be a free kick. Well, this is going to be a pivotal opportunity. Vidsong was brought to ground. And we'll see what the delivery could consist of. Many players standing over this one. But this would be a great opportunity for Montreal to stake their claim early. We'll see what they can fashion from this position. It's quite literally in a central area, about 18 yards out from goal. And standing over this one is Bryce Duke. Can he fashion a shot away and get themselves into a winning position early on? It's Duke! And it hits the wall up over the bar, out for a corner. So an important start for Montreal, setting the tone early. Of course, last time these sides did meet, it was in May of 2023, pre-Messi arrival, of course, and it was a 1-0 win for Montreal. Miami, of course, did play them in February of that year as well. It was 2-0 to Miami. But, of course, they also have played them this season. Towards the back post, it goes! Oh, goodness gracious, it's cleared away by Miami. Yes, they did meet earlier this year, of course, in March. And it was a stunning 3-2 victory away for Montreal. One of the only 2 losses they've had this season. They've avenged one of them against the New York Red Bulls, but the second one they'll look to avenge this evening. Back into the defensive half towards that left-hand side. This time, let's sit there. Driving forward. It's back with Rojas, who picks it up in possession for Miami in their defensive half. Central right-hand side is Weingart. Now here is Busquets. Laterally plays it up towards that left flank. And Gressel with a long ball forward, but it's well dealt with by Montreal's defence. And now into feet is Waterman. And now there's Campbell. Right-hand side. Looking to race forward is Ruan. Down that right flank. Still in the defensive half. Now past halfway. Closely guarded by Kremashi. Interchanging passes this time with George Campbell. It's back up forward for Ruan, but it's now with Negri who picks off the pass. Left-hand side now for Miami. And then the defensive half. It's with Suarez who goes to ground. Just on the halfway line on that central left-hand side. So, important moments in these opening few minutes for Inter Miami. Gerardo Martino, given the Coach of the Year honours in 2018. Of course, coached by many of these players. Just past halfway is with Kremashi. Out towards that central right-hand side is Weingart. Midway point of the attacking half of Miami. Chipped in ball towards the centre. There is with Suarez. The ball picked off. And now it's with Montreal. They can't bring it forward. Now it's with Nicolas Fleer. Last halfway. This time is Busquets. Just looking to play the 5-yard pass straight towards Rojas. Quick one-touch passing for Miami is now dealt with beyond halfway now in their defensive half this time with Sergio Busquets. Long ball forward, looking for Messi, chests it down on his left foot. He's got options to his right in the form of Gressel, but that pass is intercepted by the Montreal defence, and they look to reset and compose themselves. Campbell out towards that right-hand side as Montreal look to play the long ball forward upfield, but it's dealt with by Marcelo Weingart. Now to Drake Callender. Midway point of the defensive half as Nicolas Fleer. It's Busquets. It's up long loop. It's with Suarez. Brief header. And they're just interchanging headers now, Montreal. And now towards that right-hand side is George Campbell. Back of a step now. Looking to play it into a more central area. Into the centre circle briefly. And a long ball forward looking for Suarez is not exactly executed to the greatest effect. It'll be out. Now towards that left-hand side, midway point of the defensive half. This time, Nasiter. Short towards Alvarez. Now across the D out towards that right-hand side in the defensive half for Montreal. Still holding very firm at the midway point of their defensive half, just beyond the perimeter of the penalty area now. Towards that left flank, left-hand touchline is Alvarez looking to run forward. Crossing past halfway now, beating past Kremashi. Played into a more central area this time with Visson. Now out towards that right flank. Just touched inside briefly. Just beyond the centre circle now. This time is Jeannier. Plays it towards that right flank. It's Campbell. Jeannier from Campbell. In the centre circle now is Montreal. He's looking to play it forward once more, but it's picked up by Kremashi. Back in the defensive half, Miami. Busquets. Weingart now in a more central area. Plays it back towards Kvitsov. And now towards Drake Callender. And Montreal applying the pressure. And they nearly get a strike away. But they still look to play the ball in towards the box. But no one is there. And now this time is Piet. Towards that central left-hand side. This time is Lesiter. About 15 yards out from the penalty area. Back of a step now is Piet. He looks for the long switch towards that right flank. Midway point of the attacking half for Montreal. Ruan. Now back of a step is Duke. Duke into the centre circle. This time it is with Waterman. Back to Waterman just beyond halfway. In a more central area just right inside the centre circle. Looking upfield towards that central left-hand side now. The 1-2 touch towards Alvarez. Left-hand touchline is Lasiter. He's looking to play it forward. Now short towards Piet. About 10 yards out from goal. It's Lasiter. Towards the left-hand side. Flicking cross towards the back post. But there to claim is Drake Callender. Making himself big. This is a good piece of play from Montreal. First flick towards the back post. Drake Callender just poked it over and then was able to claim eventually. Wasn't exactly the easiest of the claims for him. Out towards that right-hand side, right-hand touchline is Marcelo Weingart. Midway point of the defensive half is Serhii Kvitsov. Central right-hand side again is with Marcelo Weingart. Long ball upfield. It's headed back by Montreal. Throw back into the defensive half is for Benjamin Krumashi. Central left-hand side is Nicolas Freer. Just inside his defensive half. It's back of a step now, Kvitsov. Central right-hand side is Marcelo Weingart. Looking to briefly go past halfway. Now it's Krumashi. Out towards that right-hand touchline is Gressel. And he steps away towards his left foot, but it's picked up by Montreal. Now beyond halfway is Busquets. He's got Messi for support upfield. And he chests it down, does the Argentine. Brilliant piece of skill. Slides towards that right-hand side. In the Miami attacking half. Back centrally for Messi. Looking towards that central left-hand side now. Here is Matias Rojas. Suarez. Interchanging passes with Rojas. Long ball upfield. Well dealt with by Alvarez. Montreal in their defensive half. A look to play it forward, but it's picked off back by Miami. It's Messi turning onto his right. He's brought to ground and is awarded the free kick. Just beyond the D, and this is a distinct opportunity for Miami to get themselves an attacking opportunity of their own. It's Montreal have looked the better side so far, but we'll see as to what can be fashioned from these positions. It's a very important time for Miami to potentially get their first few goals of the evening. What can they fashion? That is the question. Miami is brought to ground. Messi brought to ground. Let us see if the Miami magician can fashion one on his left foot. About 2 yards out from the D in a central area, it's Lionel Messi for Inter Miami in Canada. It's Leo Messi. It's over the bar. So both sides exchanging free kicks. One of those real tactical battles you do often see in this league. It's just one of those games. Still in the defensive half of Montreal, and Miami are applying a very staunch press. It's out towards that right-hand side now. But they can't keep it in play. Be out for a throw-in. Just past halfway on that right flank. Now towards that left-hand side. As well towards Leciter, about 10 yards out from the penalty area. Looks to shift it towards that left-hand side. It's Alvarez looking towards the byline briefly, but it's still well dealt with by Gressel. And Gressel will play it upfield. Backwards header, Messi. Now in the defensive half, looking to play it forward. That's definitely going to be a handball call against Montreal. Now we'll see the free kick from Miami just inside their defensive half. No rush whatsoever. Of course, Suarez with a hat-trick last week. Not the worst record, you'd have to say. Certainly delivered when it counted, that's to be sure. Delivered when it matters too. It's Kvitsov, central left-hand side now. Back towards their goalkeeper, Drake Callender. Towards that central right-hand side, Kvitsov. Towards Marcelo Weingart in defensive half. Miami this time is with Krumashi. Central left-hand side. Now it's with Busquets. The 1-2 touch. Messi chested down past halfway. Looking for a long ball forward towards Luis Suarez, but it's well dealt with by the Montreal defence, excellently well in fact, and Suarez did commit a foul on the way through on George Campbell, it looks like. And Jonathan Seroy will just take his time. Central left-hand side is Fernando Alvarez. Left-hand touchline now is Lecito, just inside the defensive half, however. Back of a step now towards Joel Volterman. And it's picked off by Miami. It's towards Messi across the D. He can't feed the pass through towards Luis Suarez. That would have been a fantastic start for Miami. But Joel Volterman, once again, I think with the interception, but he was the one who actually caused the mistake initially. Volterman looked across the face of goal. It was towards Messi, but fortunately he did impose himself when it counted. Kotsvitsov passed halfway on that right-hand side towards that right-hand touchline. It's well dealt with by Montreal. They might have a break forward. This time towards that left-hand side. They've got numbers forward too. This time is Visson looking towards the centre. They're through on goal here. Montreal slotted through. Bryce Duke between the legs of Drake Callender, and the home side might look to repeat what they did in March of this year. An excellent finish from Bryce Duke. Visson also the architect involved in that phase of play. And Drake Callender beat it. And Miami, for the second time in 2 weeks, go down a goal early. Well, this was just great play from Montreal. I mean, it's really well executed. Visson with a fantastic ball forward towards Bryce Duke. He's able to slot it home. And that's a great finish from the number 10. And their former starlet has stunned the home side. Bryce Duke was involved with Inter Miami ever since 2022. Was moved last year in April alongside Lecito. So it is quite the story to see that Bryce Duke has scored. Rounds with Messi, just inside the defensive half. This time Kremashi. Kvitsov. Nicholas Frio. Back towards Kvitsov in a more central area. Looking towards that right-hand touchline. It's Weingart. With Kremashi. Back with Chelo Weingart. Looking to drive in a central area. Nice little 1-2 passes in the midfield for Miami. In that defensive half still. Looking to find openings. In the centre circle is Kremashi. Looking to play the ball forward, but picking off is Visson. Driving into space on that left-hand side. He looks towards that right flank. The pass slightly overhit, but he was bearing down on goal. Wasn't the number 13. He nearly could have found an opening. It was so close, yet so far. Now towards that left-hand touchline here is Alvarez, stepping more into midfield. And Lecito. Back towards Alvarez. Just on halfway now is Volterman. Volterman out towards that left-hand side is Alvarez. Back into the defensive half-time. This time is Volterman. Long ball upfield. It's well dealt with by Visson. And now Gressel. In the middle of the defensive half for Miami is Kremashi. Central left-hand side, Nicholas Frio. Now Weingart. Central right-hand side, this time Busquets. Past halfway, and a very heavy touch from Rojas. And stepping inside was George Campbell, and he wins out possession here. Does the central defender, looking towards that right-hand side, playing it more centrally, but no one can find Mason Toy. And it's out towards that right-hand side for Montreal. Maybe do win it back in their defensive half. It's well dealt with by the Montreal defence. It goes back towards their goalkeeper, Jonathan Seroy. Now Alvarez, midway point of the defensive half on that central left-hand side. This time now is Volterman. And towards that right-hand side once more. This time is Piet. in the centre circle now. Montreal swinging forward, driving up past halfway is Alvarez. Midway point of the attacking half for Montreal. It's Duke, left-hand touchline. Lasiter. Now Alvarez. Centre circle now. This time is George Campbell. Beat. Midway point of the attacking half on that left-hand side. Now driving forward is Duke. Lasiter. Back towards Duke on that left-hand side. And now Jello Weingart will win back possession for Miami. Nicholas Frio in the defensive half. In the penalty area, should we say, for Miami. It's looked to be chipped forward, but won back by Montreal once more. They're really having a stranglehold over possession this evening in the most recent 5-minute passage. In the centre circle now is Joel Volterman under some pressure. In the defensive half for Montreal, and Alvarez has to play it back to his goalkeeper. He's out slightly outside of his box is Seroy. It's Duke. Back to the goalkeeper in Seroy. It's Alvarez on that left-hand side. Looks to play the long ball forward. And now is Jello Weingart playing the pass forward towards Busquets. Messi's out towards that right flank. He's got two players to be charged down. He's forced right into the corner. Plays it back of a step towards Gressel on that right-hand touchline. Played back infield towards Kremashi. 10 yards out from the penalty area. It's back of a step towards Nicolas Fleur. Now it's Kremashi. Busquets. The one touch back towards Weingart. His time is Benjamin Kremashi at the midway point of the attacking half for Inter Miami. It's Benjamin Kremashi. Short towards Busquets. Long ball forward to Suarez. It's Messi looking to let one fly, but that's got all the way into the Montreal night sky. And that's going to be out for a goal kick. Well, I think we'll cast our eyes across the grounds. Of course, Super Saturday in the MLS has as much as 7 games currently going on. Toronto are locked up with New York City as far as the 28th minute. They've just been a goal. Santiago Rodriguez in the 23rd minute got the penalty there. Philadelphia 1-1 up against Orlando City. New York Red Bulls and New England locked up at 1-1. Atlanta United and DC United at 1-1. And, of course, Charlotte Nashville 0-0 and Columbus Cincinnati 0-0. As we do see Jules Anthony Vilson in a bit of pain here. Following the foul from Inter Miami, just inside the centre circle. Past halfway now for Montreal. Just past halfway on that right-hand side. Out towards that right flank. Looking to race forward is Montreal. To play the ball forward, but it's well dealt with initially. And the strike on goal does arrive! Following the late run in towards the back post. It's Montreal once more. Now towards the central left-hand side this time. A long strike on goal from Lasiter. He's going to go out of play, out for a goal kick. A wealth of pressure. Well dealt with by Miami once more. Very, very close to conceding yet again, but they've held firm thus far. It's towards Lasiter. A little interchange pass down towards that left-hand side. We're going to drive inside into the area. Jello Weingart brings him down, but the referee does not award a penalty. So that'll be an interesting talking point going into half-time. And yeah, this was a long drive from Mathieu Chonier, and it was just hacked down by Jello Weingart, but I think he just got the ball first, and that's probably why it's not been awarded as a penalty. But there seems to be a lot of conjecture here as to what the call was at the time. Just beyond the defensive half. The midway point of the defensive half this time is with Serhii Kvitsov. Back towards the goalkeeper. Straight calendar. Long ball forward. And as far as doesn't even try to play the pass. It's right into the feet of the defensive half this time. Joel Waterman this time got options towards that central right hand side, but Miami are applying the press through Luis Suarez. Soroy eventually has to go clear. To the midway point of the defensive half this time for Montreal. Now it's with Piet. Back with Piet at the midway point of the defensive half, looking towards that central left-hand side. Just past halfway, Alvarez on that left-hand touchline. Long ball forward and does find the option of Lecito looking to drive into the area. Free is the option of the youngster in Jules Anthony Vincent, who's slotted into the bottom right corner. Excellent work, and Montreal have got themselves a 2-goal buffer. And Jules Anthony Vincent is emerging as a player to keep your eyes on. Canadian football fans are being treated to an absolute special from this young man right over here. An absolute stunning piece of play. Vincent was at left-hand touchline. It was played forward by Alvarez towards Vincent. And sit there. Incisive pass into the box and an easy finish into the bottom right corner. Well taken at that, however. And that is just great counter-attacking football. Ariel Lecito also imposing himself strongly in that phase of play. Former Inter Miami winger. And a duly deserved goal for a player that's really emerging as a player to watch. Only 21 years of age. And marks only his second goal this season in the MLS. And what a time to do it as well. Only made the 5 appearances this season, if you include this one as well. And his 3rd start of the year as well. Midway point of the defensive half on that right-hand side is Chelo Van Gant. And this is going to be a task that's going to be hard doing for Miami to come back from. It's Bryce Duke on that right-hand side. Midway point of the attacking half on that right flank. Well, run back by Miami. And was Suarez playing it towards that left flank. It's with Matias Rojas just past halfway. Playing back towards that centre defensive area. Now towards that right-hand side is with Julian Gressel. Chelo Van Gant. Past halfway is Benjamin Kremashi. Playing it back towards the defensive half. Now it's with Serhii Kvitsov on the midway point of the defensive half. Short towards Kremashi. Now to back with Kvitsov. It's with Messi inside the defensive centre circle. Well dealt with by Rojas. Now it's back with Kremashi. Now Gressel. Looking out towards that right-hand side. Past halfway now is with Chelo Van Gant approaching the defensive penalty area of Montreal, but Suarez can't play the ball forward towards Messi, and Montreal looks to swing forward themselves. But a long ball forward out towards that left-hand side. Can't touch it inside from Jules Anthony Vincent, but it's going to be out for a throw-in. 34 minutes gone. Midway point of the defensive half this time for Nicolas Frio. Now Kvitsov towards the right-hand side. It's with Kremashi past halfway. Now Chelo Van Gant back into midfield with Busquets. Messi upfield. Back to goal. Twisting, weaving. It's Rojas. Lateral pass towards that left flank. Nicolas Frio in the attacking half of Miami. Back central for Matias Rojas. And playing it back into the centre circle is Serhii Kvitsov. The line is pushing up from Inter. It's Kvitsov now towards Kremashi. Now Julian Gressel. Back in the central area for Busquets. It's Messi back to goal. Midway point of the defensive half is Nicolas Frio. It's back towards Suarez. Now it's with Luis Suarez. Looking to play the ball forward. The forward option, but it's upfield now from Montreal, and racing forward is Rouen. That central left-hand side. In fact, Mason Toy looking to isolate himself with Serhii Kvitsov, driving into the area towards the byline. It's Toy, but it's well defended by Miami and chested down by Van Gant. And then Busquets is going to interchange passes with Gressel, who's going to lash it clear up forward, but they are under so much pressure, Miami, especially when it comes to counter-attacking opportunities. Still with Montreal in their attacking half, at the midway point of their attacking half this time. This time is Joel Vorterman. Piet. They sit there, back towards Piet. The switch, which arrives eventually. It's Rouen. Now it's towards that right-hand side, and they do have space. Montreal enter the area, and it's a good strike from Bryce Duke. Out for a corner. And the corner now to arrive from Montreal. It's rolled short. It's Rouen right into the penalty area, and Miami will pick it off. Will look to stride forward this time through Luis Suarez. Out towards that right-hand side is Messi on the right-hand touchline. Long ball forward out to that left flank, looking for Rojas, but no one's there. And again, Montreal can pick up. Midway point of the defensive half now this time. Waterman. Now it's with George Campbell. Outfield now is dealt with well by Villasson. Left-hand touchline now to the seat down. Going to play the incisive ball forward, but it's well dealt with by Miami in their defensive half. It's with Kurmashi. Again, looking to play it forward, but it's picked up again by Montreal. Just past halfway on that right-hand side this time was Chonier. Midway point of the attacking half. Just looking to play a couple passes on that right-hand side. Back towards halfway. Busquets looking to play forward, but it's well dealt with by Montreal once more. And they get themselves a free kick. Now, they can't exactly deal with it well initially. But Montreal have just executed this game to an absolute T and controlled the possession stats in phases of play, but it's 6 shots to 2. You do certainly get the impression that Montreal are exerting much influence as Lecita towards that left-hand touchline, approaching the byline of Lecita, twisting, turning, looking to drive into the area. He plays it back of a step now towards Piet. It's with Duke, who gets a strike away. Was in space, but it's right into the arms of Drake Callender. Piet with a great sliding pass towards Duke, but only struck it in the central region. Now midway point of the defensive half this time is Sergvitsov, the Ukrainian. Out towards that right-hand side this time. Chelovan going past halfway on that right flank. Playing it back towards Messi. Messi with a long ball forward. And it's dealt with by Montreal once more, this time with Waterman. Alvarez, now this time with Piet, just inside the defensive penalty area. Now towards Siroy. The pressure applied by Busquets. Out towards that left-hand touchline, Alvarez looking to play up the line, but it's played back into a central region, and Montreal will look to swing it through now. Out towards that right flank. Past halfway, they've got numbers forward. Duke racing forward, overlapping is Rouen, but look to be played forward, and Rouen does pick up eventually. 5 yards out from the right edge of the penalty area. Here is Rouen. Now Duke. Incisive ball into the penalty area. Headed back by Montreal, and then Weingarten's able to clear out. And Campbell was towards Messi. Poor giveaway, and he goes to ground. Campbell bringing Messi down just inside the defensive area. In the penalty area. Now we'll see what they can fashion from this position. See if Montreal, and more importantly, what Messi can potentially deliver a moment of magic inside the defensive half for Miami. Let's see what the intention might be. just have to anticipate to see what the occasion will be this time. Messi just seems to be in a bit of pain here, receiving some treatment. Miami fans will hope that he's okay. The main attacking focal point of this team by far has been the best player for this Miami side this season. Of course, his goal scoring and assisting contributions have been nothing short of masterful in terms of his output. 5 assists last week against the Red Bulls, and a goal to go with that as well. What is there left to say about the Argentine with 9 assists this season, 10 goals as well to go with it? Decent output, you have to say, from him. Had a couple of injury concerns early on, but has really shaped him to be one of the better players in this league, without a shadow of a doubt. Having scored in each of his last few matches up to the 7th of April. And he's going to be coming off briefly, but it looks like he'll be all okay, which is good for Inter Miami fans, at the very least. Of course, this is the first time he's actually played in Canada. He's scored in 31 different countries. But now the question remains, can he actually score initially? It's played forward now towards Luis Suarez. Midway point of the attacking half, and he's brought to ground in the central region, and it'll be a free kick for Miami, and a yellow card, it looks like, to Joel Waterman as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what they can fashion initially. It's actually Piet who goes into the book. And it looks like Messi will make his reintroduction. He's actually looking at the camera here and having a bit of a discussion, which is quite funny, and I think he'll be brought on now, because you'd say he'd be the person to take this set piece. But in fact, it will be Matias Rojas, about, you'd say, 35 yards out from goal. If you were to go direct here, it would be something quite crazy. It's Matias Rojas! Oh my goodness! Matias Rojas! Take a bow! This new signing, he's providing exquisite displays of quality into the top right corner. That is unbelievable. Matias Rojas, what a free kick. It just kept looping and just found its way into the top right corner. Unbelievable. Wow. That is some delivery. Some quality. Few players in the league can do that. Just have to question how Miami found a diamond in the rough. And let's see there. Midway point of the defensive half this time as Joel Waterman. Messi re-enters the field. Miami with the goal of the stroke of half-time. Now to Kremashi out towards that right-hand side. Messi, midway point of the attacking half of that right-hand side, is short towards Busquets. Out towards Chelo Weingart. With Busquets, slides it towards Suarez. Chipped in ball towards that left-hand side. Racing forward now this time. And they had space in the penalty area briefly, but Chonier, long ball forward. Montreal in their centre circle now. This time is Duke. 5 minutes of added time, probably owing to the injury time for Messi today, more pertinently. Now it's towards Fernando Alvarez, midway point of the attacking half of that left-hand side now. Lasito gets a touch away, but it's well dealt with by Kremashi. Now thrown towards Kubitzov. in the defensive half for Miami. One ball up towards that right flank. Backwards header from Suarez. Messi in the centre circle. Looking shortly towards Matias Rojas. Now Montreal. Out towards that right flank. This time Duke. Crosses past halfway on that right hand side. And now it's short towards Chonier. Here is Toy. Looking to weave his way past the Miami defence, but he can't do on that occasion. And it's well dealt with by Samuel Piet, Canadian international. Right hand touchline now on that right flank. Just past halfway for Montreal as they look towards that central left hand side. Alvarez driving upfield. Now it's towards the sit there. Alvarez, and it's misplaced pass. Now sees Miami swing forward. It's Messi in transition, driving up the field in that central area. Out towards that right hand flank is Suarez. Back of a step towards Busquets. Looking to find options available, but a step over and a short pass towards Vanguard, who's driven into a central area. The Argentine, Kumashi. Space for Suarez. Poked forward towards Messi. Across the D. Breaks his way past. Messi on his left foot. Chipped in towards Luis Suarez, but the backwards header from Campbell will force it out for a corner. So Miami just asking the question, knocking on the door ever so slightly. And they found some momentum going forward. Matias Rojas with a fantastic free kick. And Julian Gressel to deliver from the corner. They flick towards the back post, and there is Suarez! And the instant reply from Inter Miami! Luis Suarez has turned this game on its head once again for Inter Miami. And it was a great delivery from one of the best crosses in the MLS from Julian Gressel. And who was there to finish it off? Luis Suarez. Of course, it's inevitable at this point, really. And Miami, on the stroke of half-time, have got themselves 2 goals to reply to Montreal's opening as well. It was actually another backwards header from Montreal, which actually found the feet of Suarez. In fact, did it come last off Suarez? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it might be Aurelio Lecite with the own goal. But nonetheless, the goal towards Suarez has been awarded initially. We do have another angle here to assess. Gressel delivers. Yeah, definitely. That looks like it hits the foot of Suarez at the very least. Now midway point of the defensive half now towards that right hand side. In fact, it's actually more central now. It's Samuel Piet. Of course, Miami have basically been treated to a bit of a special this time from likes of Luis Suarez and Matias Rojas, but Messi, ironically enough, hasn't been the player that's been the focal point thus far. And I think they'll look to take that momentum into the second half. You have to imagine, on the right-hand touchline now, this time Montreal. Midway point of the defensive half, now towards Joel Waterman. Central left-hand side this time is Fernando Alvarez. Long ball upfield, it's right into the feet of Kritsov, and it's picked off by Montreal. Racing forward is Villasson. Left edge of the penalty area. But it's a overhit pass from Montreal and out for a goal kick for the away side. Let's see what they can fashion from this position. Miami, of course, 15 minutes since Montreal scored their second. It's been all Miami since that point. 2 goals in just 5 minutes or so has completely turned this around, and the best way possible, you have to imagine, if you're a fan of football at the very least. Long ball forward, it's Piet. And the defensive half for Miami. Now Calendar with a long ball forward. Suarez. without a shadow of a doubt, has been one of Miami's best, Montreal, should I say, best players. In the centre circle with Miami out towards that right-hand side, is back of a step towards Messi in the centre circle. Busquets now turning back away. Now Nicolas Fleur headed down by Julian Gressel as Fleur has to play it back to his goalkeeper, Andre Callender. Callender now looking to get it forward. He does so now. Inside the defensive half, looking to play it forward. Headed down by Miami eventually. Now Kremashi is with Gressel back to goal, and he can't exactly win it out, and it'll be a free kick for Montreal. They did take the free kick quickly to Montreal out towards that right-hand side here. Time now is with Rouen, looking to twist and weave into the penalty area. He does so eventually into the across the face of goal. It's with Kremashi who gets it clear. As now it's slided forward now towards the goalkeeper and Jonathan Saroy. Now it's with Samuel Biet in the centre circle. Switches towards that left flank. Now it's towards the left-hand side, this time Le Citer Looking to buy time side. Into the centre it goes! Villasson nearly got a touch to it as Miami cleared out of the defensive penalty area, but it's one back by Montreal. This time is with Chonier. Central right-hand side now is Rouen. Looking to drive and looking to weave onto his right foot, but he can't exactly do so. Now it's with Busquets. That pass picked off again. Villasson, midway point of the defensive half, out towards that left-hand side. Here is Ariel Lasiter. Got into his left foot, crossed it into the box, and Callan's able to bat it clear. And Negri can't exactly keep it in initially, but he does so. Out for a throw-in it will be now. And it will be a throw-in for Montreal. Actually, it will be a corner for Montreal on that right-hand side. Now will be flicked into the area from, of course, Mathieu Chonier. Delivers into the centre. It's batted away by Drake Callender. Still alive for Montreal, however. Central right-hand side is Bryce Duke, midway point of the attacking half, and it's out for another throw-in. Mathieu Chonier, a very, very talented player, the Canadian. 25 now, of course, arrived at the club in 2011 as a youngster. Came all the way through the youth system, which is really something you don't often see in the MLS. Made his first few appearances for Canada last year as well. A long ball played forward now towards Miami is picked off now with Busquets in a defensive half. Central right-hand side is with Benjamin Krumashi passing halfway now initially. And wins it back in touch. Now back with the midway point of the defensive half. It's with Kvitsov out to that central area. It's Nicolas Flier. Central right-hand side is Kvitsov. Back in the goalkeeper penalty area. This time is Drake Callender. He looks to play it long forward. Back to goal is Suarez just inside his defensive half. With Matias Rojas gets a touch. Now here's Kvitsov. Should I say Gressel out towards the central right-hand side. There is Messi. Numbers arriving for Miami. Messi on his left foot. Looks for a long ball into the area. There is Franco Negri, but a last touch came off a Montreal player in the form. It appears for a corner. Miami to deliver from this left-hand corner flag. Now will be Julian Gressel. The last corner eventuated in a goal for Inter Miami. What can they deliver from this position? Short towards Messi. Now it's with Gressel. Now it's dealt with initially by Montreal defence, but unfortunately for Villasson, he can only see that out for a corner on that right-hand side. Left-hand side now, should I say. And so it will be Messi to take it now towards evades Gressel. Now it's towards Busquets. Driving in the central region, Messi can't find the overlapping ball. And it will be out for a corner. Goal kick, should I say. Now it's at the midway point of the defensive half for Montreal, this time through Chonier. Central left-hand side is Alvarez. And it's intercepted by Miami as they win it back in midfield. Now here is Suarez. And now it's with Montreal, who now will drive into space, this time through Bryce Duke. Numbers up arriving. It's Duke with a long-range strike on goal, but it's out and high over the bar, out for a goal kick. Questions have to be asked about Montreal. How are they going to retain that defensive composure? That is the real question to be answered by, of course, the head coach and Laurent Courtois. It's Montreal applying the press, but Callender's forced to clear it. It's one back by Montreal in their defensive half once more, but Miami win it out. Kamashi, central right-hand side, is with Messi. Now it's with Suarez back to goal. Messi just inside the defensive half. We're going to slide a long pass forward, and there is Franco Negri, who's buried down on goal. But it's a great save from Jonathan Soroy, who just came out slightly out of his 6-yard box. And the overlapping run from, of all players, Franco Negri, who made his way up close to where the goal line should be. I mean, that's a stunning ball from Messi. I think he was slightly offside, but it's a great run from Negri. Maybe doesn't have that striker's touch per se, but Negri couldn't finish. Long ball played forward by Montreal once more. Nicolas Fleur will get to it first and play it down that left-hand touchline in the defensive half of Miami as they do get it clear eventually upfield. As well dealt with by George Campbell. Just on halfway out towards that central right-hand side. This time is Matthew Chonier. Now Piet. Central right-hand side. Here is Rouen. Right-hand touchline, driving more into his central area. He's approaching the right edge of the penalty area. It's back of a step now towards Chonier in a more central position. As he looks to flick it across to that left flank. Slightly away from the player in question. In Leciter. Now midway point of the defensive half again for Montreal. Past halfway they go towards Bryce Duke. As he's lashed down, but no free kick awarded. Long ball forward for Miami. Suarez is there upfield on that right-hand side. And everyone rises in anticipation as Suarez slips on the deck. And it's now with Montreal again. Now Piet in the defensive half. To Piet once more. And Montreal under so much pressure as they look to clear it out, but they can't do so. And it's been picked off by Suarez briefly. And now it's towards Leciter in defensive half for the home side. The long ball forward was attempted down that left-hand touchline, but player been brought down, and Jules Anthony Vincent was the player brought down initially. Looks like a yellow card has been awarded to Serhii Kvitsov. Perhaps. Free kick taken by Montreal. Midway point of the defensive half now for Montreal. In the centre circle, looking towards that right-hand side. Here is Rouen. The switch now towards that left flank. Touch inside initially, but Chelo Weingardt's going to win out the right fullback. Now play it towards Benjamin Kumashi laterally. He's going to stride forward, weaving away from his marker. Now Gressel back to goal. It's Chelo Weingardt in the centre circle. Here is Messi. He's got space, his numbers arriving. Rojas laterally on that left flank, left-hand touchline to Negri. Lines up across in towards the centre. Low driven towards Rojas, but it's battered away by Montreal. Out for a throw-in for Inter Miami. Now towards Negri. Evades one towards Rojas on the edge of the area. Flick towards the back stick. No one's there. No one's there to meet it. Freer. Midway point of the attacking half for Miami. Central left-hand side back into the centre circle for Kvitsov. As he looks towards that right flank now, here's Chelo Weingart stepping inside out towards that right flank once more is Kumashi. Back to Weingart. A long ball out to that right flank is Suarez towards a byline. Cross is delivered. No one in pursuit. Will be out for a goal kick for Montreal. Well, looks like Miami really have the ascendancy in these opening few minutes. But the question has to be asked of Montreal if they can find that goal-scoring touch that they had in those first 30 minutes or so. Now it's picked off again as they look to play it out of the back. Montreal, and they cheaply give it away once more. Negri. Now it's Duke looking to weave past and is awarded the free kick. Oh no, he's not. Busquets looking to play it forward towards Messi. Now it's Piet. Midway point of the defensive arm. Now central right-hand side is Campbell. Further right is Rouen. Back to Piet. Samuel Piet. He's got options left and right. Short towards Chonier. And it's played right into the centre circle and right into the feet of Benjamin Kremashi. Now it's with Gressel, who can't wrestle possession away from Montreal initially, as it does fall back to Franco Negri. Past halfway, long ball forward attempted, but it's into feet of the goalkeeper, and it's spilled out towards the defence of Montreal, who do compose themselves, however, but a nervy moment initially. Central left-hand side now for Montreal. Here's Fernando Alvarez. Chonier, the midway point of midfield for Montreal. Plays it into the centre circle. Piet. Right-hand touchline now. Long ball forward has been played. Kvitsov deals with it incredibly well. It's Franco Negri plays it back to his goalkeeper. And Drake Callender. Central left-hand side. Here is Nicolas Flier. Matias Rojas with the initial pass. Here is Messi. Just inside the defensive half of Miami. Past halfway is Rojas. Long ball forward, and free is Benjamin Kremashi, who's bearing down on goal, but a fantastic defensive awareness, but it's found and trickled away in from Benjamin Kremashi, the youngster, the teenager, the future of this franchise. And Inter Miami have themselves a third. And after going down 2-0, it was just inevitability that they would come back at some point. Well done from the teenager, Benjamin Kremashi. And that is great work, especially from Matias Rojas, who provided the much-deserved assist. A great ball forward. It was a great defensive awareness challenge, dare I say, from Ariel Latziter, but it was Kremashi who was able to poke it home. The future of this franchise is Kremashi. Turned 19 in March of this year. And after a few struggles here and there, this man, his second goal of the season, is well and truly beginning to find his shooting boots. Now towards that left-hand side now, with Montreal just beyond halfway. It's Chonier. And towards that right flank. Here is Rouen. They're going to stride forward. He's got space opening up in the middle for Duke. They're going to turn away from his marker. It's now towards Rouen once more. And just down that right flank, it's a complete pandemonium. And Matias Rojas eventually gets the throw-in away. There's Piet. Central left-hand side now is with Chonier. Midway point of the attacking half. Montreal once more. This time Alvarez. Left-hand touchline looking for Lastigdale. Drawn in central for Chonier. Chonier once more. Back of a step. He's been forced towards that left flank. He's been brought down by Marcelo Weingart, and he'll be out for a free kick for Montreal to take. We'll see what they can deliver from this position. But again, this is just great football from Miami. Messi involved in the build-up as well. Played it towards Matias Rojas. Benjamin Kremashi was there for the delivery. And this fantastic ball over the top. And eventually found its way in the back of the net. So it was a real testament to what they've done so far. And looks like Montreal are going to make their first change. And it's going to be Dominik Yankov. He's going to make his way onto the park, but not just yet. Into the centre circle now. Busquets looking towards that right flank. Just past halfway. Messi. And with Kvitsov, midway point of the defensive half in the central position. Central left-hand side is with Nicolas Flier. And Montreal are pressing. They know that they need to get a goal to really kickstart momentum, I suppose. Kremashi back to goal. Towards that right flank. Played back into the midway point of the defensive half of Busquets. Next time is Gressel. Looking towards that left flank once more. Here is with Matias Rojas. Now it's Gressel. Matias Rojas now just past halfway towards Nicolas Fria. In the centre circle this time is Serhii Kvitsov. Just past halfway now with Busquets, and the pass misplaced. And the free kick awarded to Montreal. Just past their defensive half. Just inside, should I say. And that change now confirmed. We'll see the introduction of Dominik Yankov. Very talented player in his own right. He's Yankov, the Bulgarian international. But, of course, was born in Canada. He's played for the likes of Sunderland and Ludogorets. Has played towards the midway point of the attacking half on that right flank. Just approaching the penalty area. Now it's back of a step now towards George Campbell. Yankov with a very nice little neat flick, but it's with Busquets now who plays it forward. Trapped by a Montreal player, however. Chonier. Midway point of the attacking half towards that left-hand side. Left-hand touchline is Leciter. Back of a step is Fernando Alvarez. Piet. Now it's ball upfield this time. And the long strike on goal does fall in the area. It was a good strike from Bryce Duke. Now Piet looking to the left edge of the penalty area. Leciter looking to drive forward, but it's well defended by Marcelo Weingart. And Skrimashi. Montreal still applying pressure, as Miami can't get a pass halfway and hold it in possession. Back into Montreal's attacking half. It's this with Samuel Piet. Towards that left-hand side. Left-hand touchline as Leciter is about 10 yards out from the left edge of the penalty area. This time is Yankov once more. A new arrival at Montreal. And a good goal-scoring feat with Montreal this season so far, you'd have to imagine. He's able to really find his shooting boots. It'll be fantastic to have for a quarter now on that right hand side for Montreal to take. What can they fashion from this position? This is going to be an integral opportunity towards that right edge of the area. This time Ruan looking to shake away. Now it's with Chonier driving into the area. Across the D, here is Yankov with a strike. That shot deflected, and Miami will look to swing forward now, this time through Lionel Messi. And Messi poking it towards Suarez. Still in the defensive half though, but Miami do have numbers forward. Krmashi. That's a fantastic defensive effort from Joel Waterman, but exerted too much force yet again. And it will be a free kick to Miami just inside that defensive half. So it was a decent strike or goal from Yankov, but and we see Messi and Inter Miami just exert their influence over this tie yet again. In the centre circle is Gressel. Now it's back with Gressel once more. It's with Krmashi, just past halfway initially, out towards that left flank. They do have numbers forward, this time through Mason Toy. Now towards Chonier. Right flank now is with the cross that does arrive into the centre, but it's well defended by Miami and chested down by Cello Weingart. And it will be into the arms of Drake Callender. Villasson, of course, made way for Yankov. A very interesting change, you'd have to say. And Miami with the most assists in the league, 41. Befitting of the amount of goals that they've scored this season. It's been quite tremendous. Been played up forward now. It's with Julian Gressel in the midway point of the defensive half as Cello Weingart has to lap it clear. It's into the circle of Suarez, who plays a nice ball now towards that right flank. And here is Leo Messi. looking to run forward, plays it towards Suarez in the area, cutting inside. It's Suarez, flicked across the face of goal. And it was high, but it was well defended by Montreal, and now look to mount a counter-attack of their own, this time to Chonier, who's awarded the free kick just inside his defensive half. And a yellow card for Sergio Busquets, for good measure. And so, pursuit for Montreal is unwavering. Chonier now just lapped to ground. The yellow card awarded by the referee. And towards that right flank. We'll see another change from Montreal in a few moments, it looks like. Central right hand side here is George Campbell, of course Busquets' third yellow card of the season. A little bit of play to add to the defence. Montreal, Piet once more. Chonier looking upfield now into the centre circle. This is some good play from Lasita, who receives into touch, but slightly away from him. It's one back by Montreal once more. Rouen bracing forward is Bryce Duke, approaching the penalty area now. Yankov. Strike was quite low towards Drake Callender. It will be well defended by Inter Miami in its totality, you have to say. But it was Yankov who's had a couple of strikes already this evening. Now it's just past halfway on that right flank for Montreal. They now play it into a more central position. Piet. Central right hand side is Bryce Duke, midway point of the attacking half. Further right is Rouen. It's going to play it towards Piet. And shift it across to that central left hand side as Lasita. Overlapping was Alvarez. Now Piet. Looking towards a D. Here is Yankov. Enters the area, but he can't get a strike away, unfortunately. And Chelo Weingart will play it down that right hand touchline. And out for a throw-in. So it will be a throw-in for Montreal just past halfway on that left-hand side. And this is again Yankov, who just finds space. Looked to bring it onto his left foot, but just couldn't fashion anything of note. And now we'll see what the delivery will be. From Miami, 20 minutes left in this contest. Regulation time. They've more or less got a stranglehold over possession, especially in this second half. They've extended that. When it comes to possession in their attacking third, but Montreal do lead the stats, 52-48. Negri looking upfield. It's a free kick towards Miami, just in their defensive half. I think it might be just slightly off the ball. And now we'll get a free kick, and we'll see a double change for Miami and a singular change for Montreal. Matias Rojas making way for Robert Taylor. David Ruiz is going to make his way on for Benjamin Kramashi, two Miami youth prospects. And as for Montreal, it looks like Joaquin Sosa is going to make his way onto the park. The Uruguayan international in place of a double change. In fact, we'll see also Ibrahim Sunlusi as well. So Miami now, well, those changes haven't been confirmed as of yet, but it's back in the midway point of the defensive half for Miami. This time David Ruiz shifting it towards Negri. Just about all goal scorers except just the one have made the way off the park. Long ball forward, it was attempted from Montreal, but as well dealt with by Miami once more this time. Negri. It's Primashi. And it's Negri attempting to receive the ball down the left-hand line again. A triple change, in fact. It's just players just keep arriving out of nowhere. Rida Zuhir is also going to make his way onto the park. So that is the change. So off coming will be Alio Lasiter, Fernando Alvarez. So Zuhir is going to make his way into the game. The Montreal youth prospect. And Sanusi also making his way onto the park as well. Central right-hand side for Montreal. And Joaquin Sosa as well. And Toy making way for Ibrahim Sanusi. And now it's Yankov in the centre circle. Looking towards that central left-hand side here is Bryce Duke. Racing forward is Montreal. Looking to fashion a strike away, and he does so! Towards that right-hand side, nearly finding the opening. Joaquin Sosa, the man alone from Bologna, and Kvitsov looks to be pulling up with cramp. It was a good strike from Joaquin Sosa, just almost finding the bottom right corner, nearly, yet so far, unfortunately for the home side. And now we'll have a goal kick. Serhii Kvitsov. Has been the most incredible of seasons for him. He's now been sort of relegated to a third or fourth choice centre back now under Gerardo Martino. He's only really come into the starting lineup recently, back again. Of course, didn't play against New York, but had a muscle injury in the last few weeks. One ball forward now. This time, a good touch from Montreal out towards that right-hand side. This time, Rouen looking to race forward. It's now midway point of the attacking half for Montreal, and the brief slip from Piet. Might see Gressel away here, but it's well done by Chaunier. Central left-hand side for Montreal. It's back of a step with Bryce Duke. Midway point of the attacking half, it's with Piet down that central left-hand side. Joaquin Sosa looks to fashion a delivery in. It's out for a corner now on that right-hand side for Montreal. This is a crucial focal moment of play. Montreal have really been egged on in the most recent patches of play. Now a delivery arrives towards the near post, and it's claimed by Callender eventually. It does fall nicely and kindly to the American. But a more regimented defensive unit might have to be enforced. Freo central left-hand side now. Busquets out to that right-hand flank. Now drawn central, midway point of the defensive half is Sergio Busquets. Looked for the switch towards Negri, and it's now executed. Centrally towards Ruiz. Back towards Nicolas Fleer. Central left-hand side as he looks to play a long ball forward. Suarez back to goal. He goes to ground. It's kept in play though, and he can find in space Robert Taylor, who's bearing down on goal, cutting on his right. Robert Taylor! And a fantastic save from Jonathan Siroy, who got to his left. And Taylor with one of his first touches of the evening. Nearly had a goal. This was so nice from Suarez. Went to ground, but was still able to fashion a strike away. Nonetheless, central left-hand side now for Montreal. Central right-hand side again for Rouen. It's left very kindly by Bryce Duke. Now ball upfield now. It's with Bryce Duke. Chipped in ball, looking to find Sanusi. He's in the area, looking to cross away from the byline, but that's a very, very weird attempted strike on goal, but it's going to be a goal kick for Inter. Peculiar intentions, you'd say, behind that, but Montreal can't exactly find the opening that they sorely do need at this point in time. Sanusi maybe imposing a bit too much influence. Sanusi Ibrahim Sanusi, whatever you may say, of course, formerly of Nasarawa United, and that's where he was signed from. And joined 36 Lion in Lagos. We'll see another change. Yannick Bright is going to make his way onto the deck. Sejkvitsov, I think, one too many corkies, too many. And Ryan Saylor has also entered the park. And coming off as well will be Julian Gressel for Yannick Bright. This is what Miami do have, a luxury of options no matter how many players are injured. It's a tremendous showing and a tremendous institutional framework that has been brought by David Beckham and into Miami owners. So Drake Callender now able to clear it out of his defensive half. It's Piet. Lumped forward by Miami once more, and Juarez just goes to ground. The deftest of touches from Montreal, and Luis Suarez is going to get back up onto his feet. And we'll see Miami take the free kick just inside the defensive half. Ryan Saylor towards that right-hand side. Central defensive position for Miami. Freya Saylor is approaching the D. It's back towards Drake Callender in goals. He gets it clear eventually. Now back to goal was Taylor. And Suarez looks to play the ball forward towards that left-hand side, but it's going to be won by Rouen first. Right-hand side is Rouen. Just on the perimeter of the penalty area. It's Piet. Yankov looking towards that left-hand side, midway point of the defensive half for Montreal as they look to approach halfway. Now towards that right-hand side, it's with Duke approaching that right-hand side. And it's well defended by Miami, briefly by Franco Negri. And out for a corner for Montreal, Rouen will take. Montino pleading for calmness and stability. "81 minutes gone here in Montreal." Jonier plays it short. It's Duke. Now entering the area is Yankov, but I'm not exactly sure what's happened here. Yannick Bright is being talked to by the referee. I'm not exactly sure what the call is here initially, but it's short from Jonier. Towards that right edge of the area. Cross shaped into the area. It goes towards a back stick. And Sosa can't bundle it home. So yet so far for CF Montreal, who've looked so good in many patches the defensive awareness has really been the bane of their existence. Of course, the former Impact rebranded to Club de Foot Montreal in 2021. Central left-hand side now. It's for Montreal once more. Back to goal. It was Sergio Busquets, right-hand side now. Long ball forward towards Suarez. It's backheeled by Busquets. It's Messi in the centre circle. He wrestled down initially. And he's awarded the free kick. So very, very close. Not quite there, however. Of course, Montreal with a new coach, obviously parting ways with Losada last season. Hernan Losada was a pretty young coach, only 41 years of age at times, and wasn't quite the right fit. It's back in towards Miami's attacking half now. Busquets in the centre circle now. Long ball forward from Miami initially. So Busquets, long ball forward, and he finds Messi in space. Lionel Messi bearing down on goal, and he misses. Out towards that right-hand side. Busquets with a great ball forward. Just couldn't find the all-important corner for the winner, which would have sealed all 3 points. Now out towards that right-hand flank this time. Here is Duke playing into a more central area, past halfway now, midway point of the attacking half this time. Is Campbell. Yankov, space opening up. Racing forward is Yankov, but Saylor imposes the pressure and leaves Calendar to come slightly out of his 6-yard box to claim. 6 minutes left in this contest. It's up forward towards Messi, who flicks it towards Robert Taylor down that left-hand flank. He keeps it in play down that left-hand touchline. He's got space opening up in the middle for Suarez to play it back towards Franco Negri in a deeper position. Still in the attacking half for Inter. Midway point of the defensive half this time is Nicolas Fleer. Now it's all the way across to Ryan Saylor with Calendar. High long ball forward. Messi's way offside, but it will be held by the goalkeeper in Jonathan Seroy. Just beyond halfway now for Montreal. Rida Zohir. Sosa, left-hand touchline. Pass incisive towards Yankov. Picked off by Ruiz. Now it's Yannick Bright, right-hand touchline for Miami. Inside their defensive half. It's towards Saylor. Across the D now to Nicolas Fleer. Played centrally for Robert Taylor in the centre circle. Looking to weave it past the marker, but he can't as Rida Zohir. And the free kick awarded to Miami. Montreal players growing increasingly frustrated. You can't really blame them though, for all intents and purposes. And the free kick for Miami ensuing. 4 minutes left of regulation. Plenty of stoppage time you would anticipate is allocated as well. Left-hand touchline now. Franco Negri driving into a more central position. Midway point of the attacking half for Miami. It's with Yannick Bright in the centre circle now. Ryan Saylor across the D now. It's towards Suarez. A great first touch in the midway point of the attacking half for Miami. Looking towards that right flank. He goes to ground. He's awarded the free kick, but advantage is played. Now it's towards Suarez. Interchanging passes with Ruiz. Messi stepping into space, driving forward. Messi on his left foot, still going, and he's awarded the free kick. About 25 yards out from goal on the central right side. And Sosa and Weingart having a bit of a scuffle. A few words exchanged. And we'll see a delivery now from Leo Messi. What is the question? What will be the answer? Who knows? Messi on his left foot has delivered plenty of joy for Miami. Hasn't had a goal contribution this evening despite 3 goals from his side. It's Messi on his left foot. Canadian fans have watched and salivated over his attacking qualities for years and years. It's Messi on his left foot. It's just slightly over the bar once more. And just couldn't exactly find the top right corner, as Matias Rojas did excellently well earlier on. Now midway point of the defensive half for Montreal as they do win the free kick. 2 minutes left of regulation time in this contest now. It's Piet. Central left-hand side now. Oh, big slip. Now Robert Taylor will pick up for Miami. It's Messi now driving forward in the central region. He's got options to his left, options to his right. He'll drive central though. Messi looking towards that left flank. It's Suarez in the area. Suarez flicked it across. Goal! But it's poked over by Siroy out towards that left flank, and now Montreal will look to mount a counter-attack of their own. This time, Chaudière. It's won back by Miami now in their defensive half now. Excellent work. It's Nicolas Frio. Central right-hand side is Taylor. Sailor, should I say. Just past halfway. Now Busquets. And it's neatly found its way to the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Lofted forwards briefly by Montreal. And Chaudière back to goal. This time, Pietz. The diagonal out to that right flank. Past halfway. An incisive ball now towards Bryce Duke. Can he flick it across? He can't. In the penalty area. Now it's with Robert Taylor. Midway point of the defensive half. This time Ruiz. It's with Busquets. Short towards Bright. Out towards the right flank. Messi. Short towards Busquets. He's going to drive him his way forward. He's brought down on the halfway line. And we'll see a free kick for Miami. Final change as well. Leonardo Campagna is going to make his way onto the park for Luis Suarez. Campagna is just also demonstrating with the 4th official. I don't know what happened here. Suarez is very upset with the 4th official. Not sure as to why. But now that has been confirmed. And we will have added time allocated as well, it looks like. But don't know as of yet how many minutes. Messi now driving forward. Good touch. Looking to drive into the area on that right flank. It's Messi still going. Leo Messi! And Siroy was there to make the interception as well. 6 minutes gone for stoppage time. There's how many minutes will be allocated. Now it's towards Montreal, out towards that right flank. Here is Bryce Duke, past halfway on that right flank. Short now. This time towards Duke once more, central right-hand side. Now is Rouen. Into a central position now. We've got the numbers forward, left-hand side, approaching the left edge of the penalty area is Sosa. Playing it centrally back to Piet. Left edge of the area. Got players overlapping. Looking to fashion a cross inside. They can't. It's Yankov now. Short. Now towards Zuhir. Across towards the right-hand flank. Approaching the byline, in fact. It is Rouen. Now it's central. Zuhir with a cross towards the back stick. And it's headed back by Levine. Gone down for a corner. Now another change. Oh, in fact, it is now Campagna who's going to come on only just now. So Miami were actually playing with 10 men for a few minutes. This is a crucial moment for Montreal. If they can score an equaliser, the house will be brought down completely. Now it's delivered towards the near post. Van Gant gets it clear. And it's now with Yankov. Midway point of the attacking half for Montreal. Zuir looking to drive it into the area, but it's well picked off by Negri. And the head numbers forward briefly did into Miami, but it'll be Montreal to rinse and repeat. Left-hand touchline yet again. Looking to drive into midfield. Left-hand touchline once more. Chonier. Zuyer. Looking towards the central right-hand side. Here is the option that presents itself. Numbers forward. Now for Montreal. In fact, Waterman making all his way forward. It's played into the penalty area, but it's well defended by Miami once more. Now Montreal, midway point of the attacking half. Sosa looking towards Waterman. Waterman now centre circle. Here is George Campbell walking towards that right flank. Here is Bryce Duke looking to play it away, but it's out for a throw-in. About 5 yards or so out from the penalty area. Bryce Duke driving in centrally. Now is Campbell looking to flick it into the area. It's off the head of a Miami player, out for a corner on that right flank. This is a massive, massive opportunity. Gargantuan, one would say. Chonier is Duke. Back towards Zohir. Cross into the mixer it goes. And the volley does arrive eventually, and it hits the side netting. On that left-hand side, Joel Waterman nearly found a potential equaliser. And some Montreal fans celebrated in anticipation of that actually being a goal, but did hit off a Miami player as well. Here is the corner. Delivered into the centre once more. Well defended by Miami. They do keep it in play. And here is Messi. He can't exactly lash it clear. He does win it down once more. Piet. Left-hand side now. Here's Montreal. Ruan. Cross into the centre. But it's headed back by a step by Miami once more. Still on the left edge of the area. Piet flicks it in. Saylor out for a corner. And I do suspect that Jonathan Saroy might come all the way into the box. The last-ditch effort. This is finite times. Important moments. Saroy, the goalkeeper, doesn't arrive, but it's Yankov now. Left edge of the area. It's short. Now towards Chonier. Fashions a cross into the centre. Saylor flicks it across. Now it's with Campbell. Right edge of the penalty area. 45 seconds left. It's with Sosa. He delivers it once more. It's very low driven. And Montreal will have to head it back now towards Sosa once more. Long ball upfield. Here is Yankov. Now out towards that right flank. Here is Piet. Laterally does find Zlier. And Piet fashions a delivery and once again headed back by Miami once more. It's Piet. Delivery once again, and it's a player brought down, that being Joel Waterman. And I think Miami are going to go back to their home base with 3 points in the bag. Stunning second half performance. Defensively, you'd have to say it was massively on cue. Chelo Weingart. There's a call maybe for a penalty here, as he might have wrestled down Joel Waterman, but I don't think that will be awarded. And it hasn't, so Drake Callender is going to take the goal kick and all but confirm the 3 points for Miami. Goals from Luis Suarez, Matias Rojas and Benjamin Kramashi, which sealed the 3 points. Goals in the first half from Jules Anthony Vincent and Bryce Duke. A stunning game here at Montreal. I've been Neil Simons for Flash Score. It's a pleasure to have your company, and we'll see you very, very, very soon for more MLS action.
Bye.